I yearn for friendship for sure, but I don't like go out and hunt for it. I would say that I think the right people come into my life at the right time and everyone serves a purpose. So I think when I don't look for certain people that I want to be around, they just come to me naturally.
So I feel like I just want to start off by just a quick check-in. Like, how are you doing? How's your week been? How's everything going for you?
Oh, wow. What a great start to the video. Honestly, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Okay.
Things have been busy, but I think now at this point in my life, I'm trying to find as much balance as I can when it comes to like who I am outside of work. You know, like what do I enjoy to do? Do I like yoga? Sometimes. Does my back hurt? Yes.
Yeah.
So it really depends now. I think that's where I am at my point in my life, just trying to figure out how I can balance and make the best of myself and really leaning into my strengths. That's the biggest thing that I've actually encountered. I'm not focusing on my weaknesses anymore. I don't have time. Every day they tell you, work harder on your weaknesses. But sometimes your weaknesses are meant to be, you know?
Yeah.
It's not every day.
I feel like when you're kind of like in a state of trying to like be the best version of yourself and like trying to like improve yourself. I don't know. Let me know if you kind of feel this, but I feel like then I kind of got into the cycle with myself where I feel like I treat myself like a walking project that needs freaking fixing every like 2 seconds. And I feel like I'm not even like enjoying like my being. Like, I feel like now I'm trying to find like a balance of like, yes, like identifying the areas that like I know that I want to work on, but like still just accepting myself for like who I am. I don't need to think I'm like a, you know, like a newly renovated space I need to work on every 2 business days. I feel like that alone is so exhausting by itself, because I'm like, okay, well, I need to do this and I need to make sure I'm up on this, and okay, well, this needs improving. Like, it just gets like overwhelming. Yeah.
And I think if you continuously focus on improving those things that make you depressed already about like your current state, you get more depressed. You know, so it's much better to lean into what you're good at and then focus, of course, on your weaknesses, but make what you're good at your core. So if you know you're good at talking, focus in on that and then figure out how you can actually make that work out in your favor. I think that's the biggest thing in my life too. I'm like, how can I win in every situation with what I'm good at? You know, and the things that I'm bad at, maybe I'll figure it out later on, but I know I'm aware of it. Being self-aware is also important, but like, you get depressed really quick. I don't have time to be depressed. Do you feel like it's because maybe like, you feel like you kind of have to like rush to get all of it? Because I don't know, for me, I feel like sometimes that's why I'm so like focused on it, and it's like on the forefront of my mind, because for some reason, I don't know why, maybe just like subconsciously or something, maybe I feel like I'm like running out of time, and that's why I'm like, I feel like every second, every minute needs to be dedicated to me working. Like, there's no time to time is running out. I need to be on my P's and Q's. I know. So do you think, you know, because I feel like, let's say like, I don't know, I want to like do something that I'm like passionate about, or there's like an area that I want to like improve on. I come up with the plan, right? And it's like, I know the plan. I know what I need to do. I know that it's going to take time, but it's like, I'm not okay with the time piece. So it's like every day I'm just trying to like do something that like, you know, I can like rush it or make the process go like faster, but there's not really actually anything that I can do. I just have to kind of like sit back, enjoy the journey, and just like take it day by day and be like okay with that, being like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to work on. This is what I'm going to do to get there, and just kind of like leave it at that. I feel like I struggle. Yeah, I can definitely understand, because I feel like I've been that way since as soon as I turned 20, I said, oh, this is it. Like, I'm in my 20s, you know? So I think I'm now learning to understand that the process, enjoying the process and the journey that you're going through will save you from like putting as much pressure on yourself, because you're looking at the daily things that you're doing and you're actually finding fulfillment in that, because you know that you're planting all these little seeds. So I think when you have to really switch your mindset, it's definitely hard, because social media... It's so hard. I'm like, so much easier said than done. Oh, like, please. It's been like 26 years. Myself that. And it's like, I feel like I just can't get there. You can. And like, sometimes I feel like I'm there, and then, I don't know, like on like harder days or whatever, then I feel like it's like sets you back like so much. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just like a part of it. Of like, you know, you'll have those days when you're happy and you're content, but then there'll be other days where maybe you're just like not feeling that. Yeah, I can understand that as well. But I think there's just so much that comes at us, and there's just so much like at play. And yeah, you're right. Like, social media is like
a big thing. I don't know. I feel like especially probably for us because we want to be in that space like so badly. So like, of course, you know, we have our creators that we love and we're like cheering them. I'm like, I need to be on the carpet tomorrow. Like, do you see? Like, I need that to be me. Like how these babes are living. Like, I need to get that like today, and then it makes me so like sad. Yeah. Even though I should probably be grateful about all the things that I have, and of course, there's like, you know, like yes, 100%. Like I should be very thankful for like where I'm at, and I've come like very far, and I feel like overall, like I am like in a good place. But I think it's just because it's just not like my end goal, and I know where I want to be in the end, and like where I am right now is just like not that. And then it's like I'm seeing people who are already there. These people are my age mates, eh? People are living life.
It's very hot. It's hot. People are living.
It is really, as comparison is a thief of joy. Like that point blank period, that really is just what it is. Where I've literally had to like try to reduce
I think
how much I'm online.
Yeah. Oh, I deleted TikTok from my phone. It's on my iPad. Baby, I'm not even scrolling. That's why I respond to you in like 10 hours. It's not even on my phone.
Really? I feel like you're active. You be sent.
Okay, Toy. Cut that out. It's like during a certain time when I get home. Yeah. That's when I send you like 30 at a time.
Yeah.
And then I'm not responding to you in the morning. It's not. I just deleted it. Well, because of storage. So iPhone, please fix that.
Okay, you guys need to know about. Please tell us people about your storage issues. You've been having storage issues since 2017.
Wow, has it been that long?
It has literally been that long. I feel like since I met you, you've been having storage issues.
Well, Apple, I'm speaking to you. Who's the current CEO? Don't know, but cut that out. But I don't know. I'm just a hoarder of pictures. Like I screenshot everything. I screenshot things I want to do in the future. Screenshot outfits.
How many photos, how many videos do you have?
Well,
because you said that I told you to buy the
it's just not working.
iCloud thing, right?
Yeah.
Because then it'll export it to your iCloud instead of having it on your phone. So you should have more like space. But you said that still doesn't work for you?
No, it doesn't work. Well, I have 9,000 images right now.
That's not that bad.
But I just don't have storage.
That is really weird.
But
anyway,
it's been a constant battle with me in storage. I don't know when it's gonna end.
I'm praying for you, to be honest.
Thanks. I may just get a new phone. I don't know.
Do you think that's gonna fix it? Because I feel like this phone was new.
Oh wow, you are so right. That is new.
Yeah. So I don't know if that is the root cause.
Maybe I'm the problem. But we'll figure that out later. But going back
what were we talking about?
What were we talking about? I don't even remember. Oh, okay. For me, because it was very easy for me to get like super depressed, and like even when it comes to education and not being where I wanted to be, you know, in terms of education and how long it's taken me. For me, I think the biggest thing I realized was I held so much of my identity in like all of these things that social media says you should have. Like not social media, the world, sorry. Yes. Like you need to have this degree, you need to make this income. If you're not doing this, you're not successful. And I held so much of my identity in it. And I didn't realize the true power that I had in myself, like what my capabilities are. Okay, I can talk to people. I can actually conversate with just about anyone. Yeah. And I never looked at these things as like valuable assets until I just removed my identity from all these social things, you know? And I started looking really internally. And I actually practice gratitude a lot. I think gratitude really helps. I'm telling you, maybe it changes.
Yeah, I know. To shift
it changes the way you look at things. Like all of a sudden, I will be outside breathing, even though it's mad cold and I'm walking to work. I'll be like, thank you, God, for this fresh air that I'm breathing. Yeah. It's so fresh. You know? Like even saying something like that.
It's not anything.
It's not
thank
anything.
You for this fresh air.
Like I literally walk into work happy. Yeah. You know, and I think that's the biggest mind shift I've had for myself is actually practicing gratitude like every single moment that I can get, even me eating food or figuring out something or maybe taking an L. I always practice gratitude, but it's definitely hard. I think when I was 20, 21, 22, 23, I was like going through that, you know, loss of self, not really knowing who I am, not really knowing what my strengths are. But now that I'm older, I'm like, girl, you dope. You know what I mean? And I think all the goals that I have, I know that I'm going to get there regardless because I know that I'm showing up for myself every day. But I'm also treating myself with grace and care. and recognizing that, okay, if I am not feeling at my best, I'm going to take a little 30-minute recap.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I need to just sit down for 30 minutes and breathe. I've actually been practicing a lot of breathing exercises. That's helped a lot as well, because I've learned to slow down. Because every time I feel like I need to be at a certain place, I just sit down and like breathe. Because when you think like that as well, your heart starts to speed up.
Yeah.
Your heart actually starts to speed up.
Yeah.
It's not every day I want to be out of breath. Like I'm out of breath already when I go up the stairs. It's not every day out of breath when, you know, you're thinking about all these things that you want to do. And I think that's the biggest thing, you know, you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to do X, Y, and Z, but it's not happening at the speed that I want it to happen. But if you just look at the little things that you're doing to show up for yourself every day, and then you implement gratitude and then implement the breathing, it's been a game changer for me.
Yeah.
But it's still like, I still have my down days. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a human being.
Yeah,
you know, you're going to have days where things are just going left.
Yeah.
You know, but I think it's really how you react to your things going left. And
I agree.
That's why I think not holding a lot of my identity and all of these things has helped me now that I've like detached from it, because I now understand myself, you know, as I continue to grow more now, because I'm like, okay, what do I need like right now for myself in order to feel recharged? Maybe, honestly, I'll be very honest. Sometimes it's just Ben and Jerry's churros ice cream and watching a little, what is it called? Dragon's Den, or watching, right now I've been watching Yellow Jackets. Great show. Check it out. But watching something like that and just like de-stressing for like an hour and not moving, I'm good. Then the next day I'm like, okay, I'm going to get up and try again. But then not looking at that break that you're taking for yourself is like something that's going to set you back. Yeah. Because it's something that's actually preparing you, you know, for all the things that you have in place. You're like, you feel more recharged.
Yeah, I mean, rest is very important, right? Like, you can't do anything if you're not like well rested, if you're not taking care of yourself. Like, you can't be able to accomplish like anything. So I do agree. I feel like rest is very important. Yeah. You did say like you've been working on like, I guess, like decentering yourself on like a lot of things that don't like serve you. Yeah. So like, what are some things that you had to let go that you realized weren't serving you?
Well, that's a bit deep, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Well, it's a little bit. I think for me...
Because I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what does that look like? Like, how are you using it right now?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me as an African child, I think everyone knows, if you're not an engineer, doctor, lawyer, baby, what you doing? But I held on to that identity for a long time. Like, I essentially was going to go into sciences and become a doctor. I was never going to do that. Yeah. I knew
you
deep.
Wanted to be a doctor?
No.
Well, you thought.
Yeah, you know when if your parents speak this amount into you, you eventually start thinking
that's what you thought your life.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm going to be a doctor. And you know what's crazy? I knew I was not going to be a doctor, okay? Please. But I try to convince myself, because you know the theory, like you have to tell yourself a certain amount of things so you can eventually believe it. Oh my gosh, I like memorized the exact physician I was going to be. So anytime anyone would ask me, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be this type of physician. It's going to take me this long. It's going to be and very intense, right? And I held on.
Prepared.
I was prepared, because you're not going to question what I'm about to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just to make it look like I know exactly what's going to happen in the next 4 years. But then realistically, I didn't.
So how old were you then? When you're doing all this?
22.
Okay.
Yeah, 21, 22. Okay. Yeah, and I was just holding on to that. And then I thought that my intelligence was rooted in my ability to pursue medicine, right? And like, it didn't come to, like, I understood a lot of the science courses that I was doing, but I hated it. I genuinely did not enjoy it. And it took me 10 times longer to grasp a certain concept than it would for like other people. Yeah. Right. And even though I would succeed.
Easily.
Yeah, it didn't. And even though I would succeed, I'm like, that took me like a month to make sure I even get this grade. And then I was like, okay, there's so many difficulties. And because I held my identity so much in like education and it's like that degree, becoming a physician, I was like, I don't think like, am I smart? I started questioning myself. Am I smart in this area? Am I smart at all? Yeah. And then it plays into other things in life, right? Because if I felt, you know, like, oh my gosh, my confidence is not at the highest point of where it could be. I felt like, if I can't do this, like, what am I going to do in life? Yeah. You know what I mean? So it plays into other things. Like, it plays into how you have conversations with people or how you handle conflicts because you don't feel as confident in yourself. Yeah. And that's how I felt for like years. I'm like, oh my goodness, like, if I'm not going to do medicine, I don't know what I'm going to do until I actually ventured off into finance. And I was like, oh, like, maybe this is me. Yeah. Like, I understand everything. The number. I was like, who is that?
It's your period down. Forgot
mine says night routine. Yeah. No, but yeah. I held so much of my identity in my ability to complete like a biological sciences degree. Yeah. And then it in turn flowed into so many different things. Like my ability to even try and start up a business.
Well, I mean, if that's what you based your identity around. Yeah. And then you come to that realization that, okay, that's not really me, or that's not like a fit for me, but you've literally based your entire identity. Like, yeah, of course you're going to go through a crisis, because then it's like, who the hell are you then? Yeah. Of course that's going to like impact like your confidence and how you see yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like your ability to be able to do things. Yeah. Because if it's like you've had this core belief of like, this is who you're going to be. Yeah. And you're realizing, okay, well, I might not actually get there.
Because I don't like it, first and foremost. And everyone is dissecting animals, and I don't like stinky stuff.
But I feel like sometimes when like you're having that realization that maybe something isn't for you, like sometimes you don't always make that connection that like, oh, it's not for me. Yeah. I just don't like it. Yeah. You go to like, oh, okay, well, I'm just like not good enough. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, why does your brain go there first? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where it's like such like a negative like internalization of it versus of just, oh, okay, well, it's just like simply not for me. I actually just don't like it. Period. And just like let it go and then like easily go pursue something else.
I know. I think because we internalize, like as humans, I think we internalize our perception of what people think.
Is what I've heard.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah. So it's like, because I'd be listening to like, I'm getting into like wellness.
I love that.
So like,
look at the food you're making.
A lot of podcasts I listen to are around like wellness and stuff. And like, I think it was a Jay Shetty podcast or whatever, but they were talking about it. Like as human beings, we actually have like a negative like bias. Our first instinct is our brain like internalizes the situations like negatively because it's actually how we've kept ourselves safe, like through evolution and stuff. Right?
Interesting.
So like obviously back in the day, it's not really like that anymore, but like back in the day, like you needed that bias. Let's say if there was like like an animal or something that was going to come and like be able to attack you, needed to be able to like identify it, and you needed to be able to be like, okay, like I need to like run. Everybody that would run, everybody that would flee, like are the ones like who survived, and that's how it pretty much got passed down. So like every time that we're kind of going through something, our brain goes there first because it's just like been like indoctrined in us, you know what I mean? Like through the years. So that's why it's so easy for our brains to like always like look at the negative before we see the positive.
Wow.
Because it's been like imprinted on us like through like evolution and literally basic like human survival for us to always look at the negative, because that's how we've been able to keep ourselves alive for so long.
Well, that would explain a lot.
Right? I'm like, okay, that makes so much. I'm not crazy. There's nothing wrong with me. Yeah.
It's just, right? Yeah. That's crazy.
It's just how our brains have been wired throughout the years.
So now it's like the point of where we have to rewire our brains. Yeah. Realistically. If you're aware.
Depending on generations too then of how you've come along, I think that plays a part as well. So I'm even thinking like for me, like I'm like a refugee. Like so my parents like came from war. You know what I mean? So my parents have lived through like literally like 2 wars. Their parents have lived through those same wars. So even speaking of like, okay, well, yeah, this thing was implanted so we could be like safe from back in the days. It's like, no, for me and like being in survival mode and stuff, that's not really that far removed within like my genetics. Do you know what I mean? Because they would have needed those same survival skills to be able to survive like the 2 wars that they've been in. And it's been passed on from generation to generation. So I'm like, yeah, like it makes sense on why I'm so literally like overly anxious about like, I think it's just sometimes it is genetics. Do you know what I mean? Compared to maybe like, just as an example, like white people who have been here through like generations. So they've been comfortable, like, a lot longer. So maybe that survival instinct, like, you know what I mean? It's like a little bit more far removed from them. I don't know. That's how I like think of it sometimes.
And do you think it showed up in your life, especially in your 20s?
For sure. Not so much. Because even listening to you talk, you're having these conversations with yourself when you're like 20, 21. Why am I saying it weird? 21?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you like the sound?
No. 21. Why does that sound weird now?
I think
when you say something too much now, it sounds weird.
What's that? The Vine. I think you're saying it like that. The 21. What is it? What's it? 9 plus 10. 21. Okay. That's how you're saying it.
You say it so I can...
21.
Okay, 21. I can't say it. Why can I not say it?
That Vine has made an impact?
What the hell?
I was like 20. No, I'm just kidding. That was like 20 years ago.
Okay, anyway, so in your early 20s, you were having these conversations with yourself of like trying to figure out who you are. I was not having the same conversations with myself. I don't know what I was doing. I was living life.
What were you doing?
Life.
What were you doing? I mean, I was vibing.
In the club with my twin. Like, that's what I was doing. I was just like, had no worries.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes I always think about like, I just did not really think about I had never really thought about the future like that. Like, if you would have asked me when I was like 22, I'm just going to use 22 since I can't say that number. 22, like what I thought my life was going to be in 5 years, I wouldn't have been able to like explain it. Even if you would have asked me at 18, I'm like, okay, like what do you see for yourself like after high school? Like, I wouldn't have been able to explain it. Like, I was never able to literally see past like what I was literally like living through. I was like which is so funny because I'm like the complete opposite now. But I feel like I was so much more like present focused in my younger days than I am like now.
Do you think you're more free? Obviously, everyone's freer.
I'm
in
like
in their younger days.
Yeah, because I didn't care. Because there was just so much stuff that I was very like ignorant to. So I was living my best life. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many bad habits that I had, so many bad patterns that I was like engaging with. But like, it just wasn't really something that like bothered me because I just wasn't really in that space of like wanting to grow or do better. I was just comfortable.
But do you think now that you're more self-aware of the fact 100%. That, you know, you had all those bad habits, like you can't rest it?
I haven't known peace.
But how do you get to the freeness? How do you get to the freeness?
Because even sometimes I'm like, I wish I had that little bit of like, not so much care. I feel like I just care so much more now compared to how I was in my early 20s. I feel like that's honestly the biggest contrast. And because I know better now, like I just hold myself so much more accountable than what I would have when I was in my 20s.
Yeah, and I think I understand that as well. Because
like none of those questions, like who am I? What does it mean to be me? Like what do I like? None of those questions ever ran through my head. None of them ran through my head until like seriously of trying to figure out who I am until I was like 26. Since fair. Like 26 to now. No, it's been like a hell of it's come like tenfold.
No, 25 is like all the brain started hitting.
I did not have with myself, maybe in my early 20s. Maybe that's why they're just like...
They're now forming.
Like I can't turn my brain off. It's like all that I think about.
You know, but the biggest thing I think a lot of adults face is because of how the world is structured. Of course, we lose our inner child. You know, we really lose our inner child in that sense of freedom because you don't know anything. You know, you're oblivious to the world in general.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, ignorance.
It really is. You have a lot of peace when you don't know any better.
I know.
You live good.
But
life is good. Life is sweet.
I think every adult has to get back to that inner child. Truthfully, like you need to find one thing that brings out the inner child in you. Truthfully, because if you don't, you will be miserable. Because the world, the way that, especially the Western world, the way it's constructed, it's not designed for happiness. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
So you really have to get back and force yourself to get back to that inner child. Because even when I talk to people all the time, and I'm like, they tell me all these things, I'm like, how was your childhood? Because everything goes back to the child.
100%.
Everything.
First of all, like even though everyone like presents like grown.
Yeah.
Based on how people act, you can tell like where they're at. You know what I mean? Age really is actually like, it means like nothing at all, to be honest. Because I feel like, let's say you just meet someone like with a bad attitude or just like their outlook on life and how it is and just how their life is, like all of that roots back to their childhood.
100%.
So like, it's funny that you're saying like, you have to bring out that inner child to be happy. But like, I think if you want the best version of yourself, especially if you've had a hard childhood, you have to parent that inner child.
Yeah.
You literally have to be like at this big age, you have to parent yourself.
Isn't that kind of sucky though?
Oh yeah, every day I'm like, these people did a freaking number on me. Every single day. I said, wow, like where would I be if I didn't have to like
circle back? But I think you got to think about the things that made you so excited too. Like during your 20s, like maybe it was, I don't know, what was exciting for you in your 20s? Like what brought you so much joy?
That's just obviously the freedom. Because I grew up where not really having that much freedom. Like I grew up in a household where it was like so strict. Like going outside was very hard. Like even like in high school and like junior high, like being able to go hang out with friends, being able to do anything. It was like I was not really like allowed to. So like I felt like once I got like a little taste, or once I realized, oh, okay, like I'm grown enough to, I can just
leave.
Stop.
I can go to class.
I stepped real hard. Honestly, that was like my favorite part.
Yeah, the biggest thing about
just
strict
like the
parents.
Freedom, because I grew up under so much restriction and just like taking care of other people and like putting other people first and just like being like a mom to like 5 like kids that I never even asked for.
Let's discuss that.
So I have a really bad sensitive topic. Like, but honestly, because of that reason of like always having to care for like other people for such like a long time, like when it comes to like even just like thinking about like motherhood and stuff, like I have a very like negative like association with it. Like, yeah, because I'm just like, holy frick, it's just like so much like sacrifice. And because I feel like I've been in like such a caregiver role for like so long. Like my nephew is like 4. My youngest sister is like 10. I'm like 28. So in every stage of my life, I've always had a kid in my life. If you really peep it, if you really think about it, like even at my big age now, almost entering 30, I still literally am surrounded by so many little kids in my life. Wow. So I've always been, you know what I mean? And like in like such a caregiver role, and I'm like burnt out. Like once I stepped out, I said, okay, like I'm finally like living life now. It gives like all my kids are grown. Yeah. I can live my life now, you know? So to think about like, oh my gosh, I have to go back to like the baby stage, it just feels like I'd be giving up like so much of myself. And I think because that's how I saw like motherhood. And first of all, with like the moms and like the aunties within my community, like they just didn't sell motherhood good. It gave struggle. It gave anger. It just gave so many like negative things. And I'm just like, that's just like not my brand.
Oh, it's so off brand. But I think honestly like, for you, that can shape your motherhood journey, right? Because motherhood is not just like, take care of the kids. Obviously, that's the big center. But that's like if you're not your best,
that's how I see it. Obviously, it's like a lot different now because I have friends who are like moms, right? Like Emeka, for instance, like it's very like well balanced. Do you know what I mean? Like she's still outside, she still cares for herself. Like even like Brittany, you know what I mean? So it's like they're showing me like a different side of motherhood where it can still be like enjoyable. Where I just think doom and oh, like. I said, I don't know if that's like my future. Yeah. And I'm like, it's just such a negative like association. And then even just like with growing up in like a big family and stuff, it's just like people's like decisions and how much they can impact like your life. I'm just, it's just getting tired. It's getting tired.
It is. But do you think also you playing a caregiver role for so long has impacted the way you care for yourself too?
No. Just one thing about it.
How does it increase?
I'm going to take care of myself.
Wow, okay.
It just makes it like harder is what I feel like. And I just don't want that like, because it's like resource. Like, okay, you want this, but I want this. Now we're competing for, you know, wants. And it's like, I just don't want to like give that up. Oh my God. I like my house like clean. I like a certain aesthetic. Kids, like, growing up with like 5 siblings in a tight government home, it gave messy. It was not the aesthetic. It was not the vibe. So like, even just like think about that. Oh my God, my space is going to be like messed up. I can't just come and go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like my mom often like the babysitting and all that was because she didn't have, you know, she got lucky of like, oh, okay, well, I have this daughter who's going to come and take care of my other kids so I can step out. Like if I'm doing girls' night with like the other aunties, I can go and do that. And she's going to take care of like my 4 other kids. I think if I have kids, like I don't want to outsource like mother duties onto like my children.
I completely agree.
Live my life.
I completely agree. And I also think it takes away from the individual as well, because that child, like your sibling, eventually they get so accustomed to someone always being there to pick up after them. Yeah. And they can honestly lose a sense of identity as well, because they don't know who they are without 10 other people helping them
well, that's like my younger siblings now. Like these people are useless.
Oh my gosh, not on me.
Like just thinking about like where I was at when I was their age and where they're at now, like Like, I was cleaning. I was like, you know, like
something.
The way I was just a lot more self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Where they're just, which is like, I'm happy for them. You know what I mean? Because it's so much like different. But like, in terms of just like initiative, like, no.
It decreases.
My siblings don't have that, the same initiative that I had, because I had to go out and get everything for myself. I knew if I wanted something done, I needed to go and do it like by myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't put that onto like my parents' is like thing, you know what I mean? Which is like another big thing for me. I find actually like adulthood a lot more enjoyable than I did actually my childhood, because I have a lot more control. Like, I'm a really big like control freak now. And I think it's because I feel like I had such little control of like nothing in my life when I was a kid. Like, all the decisions were made for me. You know what I mean? It's not like in an African household, it's not like you can have conversation, express your feelings, and like
express what feelings.
Be, like,
are you crazy?
Taken accounted for, and they're gonna consider it. It's like everything is like made for you. Every decision is made for you because you're a kid, but yet they still want you to like
be an adult.
Yeah.
And then when you make adult decisions, you're like, slow down. But that's how you grow.
And then it just like, you just see how other people's decisions like impact you so much.
Yeah.
So like, I think for me now, that's why I'm like such like a big, like, I want to be able to control, like, because it makes me feel safe. I want to be able to control, like, if I can, I would control everything.
Everything.
Yeah. It just makes me feel like safe. Because I just remember feeling how like very like powerless when I was a kid.
Wow, I can relate. You know, always wanting things to go your way.
Yeah, and it just never goes your way.
It never goes your way.
Because of these freaking people.
Yeah. Oh, because people are going to disappoint you daily, baby. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to disappoint you. I've actually been slowly learning that. Just learning to like let control, like go of control is hard.
Yeah, it's really,
very
really
hard, but it'll save you a lot of peace, man. It'll save you a lot of peace. So if you're just
I'm trying to like lean into that now.
Just be like, I don't have the energy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard because even sometimes with little things such as correcting someone and knowing they're wrong, you actually have to let people go through things so that they can learn for themselves. But sometimes even like that, I have to catch myself. I'm like,
is it worth it?
Close your mouth, Golda. It's not every day. Correct this person. Like even with my siblings, I'm like, okay, they're now at the age where they're growing adults. Like they have to be functioning adults for society. So I look at myself, I'm like, it's not every day. Tell them this is what you need to be doing. This is how you do this. They have to learn, because if I rob them from that, when they go into a partnership, their partner is going to look at them crazy. Like, oh, you don't know how to do that? Or what kind of household did you grow up in? And they're going to say, oh, everything was done for me when I was, growing up. But then if you come to a partner who is not accustomed with that, it can be a clash.
Yeah.
Right? 100%. And even when you go into co-working spaces and you're working with coworkers, baby, you nuck if you buck. You get to work.
Yeah.
And if you show lack of initiative, that may be your job.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's actually very hard because I want to say something every 2 seconds. And then I just sit down and ask myself, am I becoming like my mom?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, love her down. But the way African parents have been trained is like, I am right, you are wrong. This is the only way to go about life. So obviously, they grow up and they teach that to your children. So you absorb it, especially firstborn. Lord have mercy, you absorb it.
Free the babe.
Every day firstborn is hard.
It is.
I put so much pressure on myself as well. Like during that time where I had like a loss of identity, because I was like, if I'm not in medicine, how can I, showcase to my siblings that this is the way
and your parents like let you know that. I don't know what your parents would tell you, but literally my parents would always tell me like, oh, you're a loser. All my kids are going to be a loser after you. And
that's
like
crazy.
Like, so it's like, you're literally like responsible for everyone else's like livelihood.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like all the time. They used to drill that in my head all the time. Oh, you want to be bad, you're going to make all the rest of my kids bad.
If your kids turn out bad, baby, that's on you.
But in a way, though, I kind of get what they mean, though. You know what I mean? Because you can only go as far as what you see. So I do believe in that, right? Like you do kind of set that example. Yeah, you set an example, sure. But people at the end of the day, in your hands? No, it's not in your hands. It's not in your hands. Like you can set an amazing. That's what I'm saying. You can be an amazing example. It doesn't matter because people are going to do what they want to do. And at the end of the day, what makes me feel good is like whatever they're doing, they have no excuse, because they actually had someone who did it. Yeah. And I think that's the funny, and that will always be the gag. Yeah. It's like, that's a lie. Yeah. But at the same time as well, it's not even a but, realistically.
society essentially shapes people, you know, and you don't really know your siblings. You don't really know them. Yeah. So even if you're this steadfast person, you're A-level person, you have all this X, Y, and Z. Baby, if your sibling wants to be an artist and wants to be free and wants to be more grounded to nature, that's just what they're going to be. They don't care if you have all these accolades. Yeah. They don't, you know? So yes, I agree in the sense where, you know, set a good example. But if the followers don't want to follow the example, don't hold it to me. No, it's true.
Yeah, everybody has their own journey for sure. And everybody has their own personality. Yeah. Like, you have to be okay with that. 100%. But I feel like that's also something that is not, like, embraced sometimes. Yeah. I don't know how I feel like in my household, it's like, at least with my parents, they had, like, a personality that they always favored, and then they wanted everybody else to follow suit. So, really? like, having diverse, like, personalities, it wasn't something that was, like, ever celebrated. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think they really see... At least maybe back then, I mean, I'll like speak on them now. Maybe they've changed because, you know.
Yeah, they changed.
Everybody's grown and they have a little, you know, they've been here for a while.
Yeah, Western culture does change. Like my parents have sat down and said, wow, they have so many reflections with each other. Like, you know, and they sit there and tell me.
But like, wow. Back then, no.
Yeah, because that's all they're exposed
my mom.
To.
She definitely, like, even within our community, like certain personalities and certain people are favored a lot more. And it's like, if you don't measure up to that person who they like, you're always going to fall short, and you're always, especially, and they're always going to compare you, and you're never going to be celebrated for just being yourself. You're not celebrated for like being you. So you actually like, it makes you way more, which is another thing I had to battle with, makes you way more insecure, and it makes you not feel good within yourself, because like at home is where it should come from, right? Of like being comfortable and like being celebrated. If you're not getting that at home, like what do you think that's going to cause within yourself? Instability for sure. And even when you go out to people, you start seeking validation. But that's what you never thought. Like you're never going to feel secure in yourself because you've been like brought up that you shouldn't feel secure in yourself, that you're actually not good enough. Isn't that, that is crazy. But the thing is, when we come to Canada, we have to give praise to the Western world just for this part. I ain't praising the rest. But no, I agree. Of the being in tune. Yeah, being in tune with yourself. I mess with that. Like, and like, yes. Because a lot of African children who are currently in Africa do not really understand that there's so much power in who they are as individuals. And, you know, being really strong-fast, is that even a word? Steadfast. Steadfast in themselves, you know? Because let's say, for instance, if a child... if a child's like very energetic, you know, in Africa, like, oh, you have so much energy. Here, it's a different situation. ADHD. Here, it's like, ADHD. Yeah. But, you know, really leaning into that, I don't, like a lot of people are not like that back home, right? Yeah. So when you see people from different areas, you're so mesmerized and you start to praise these people because you don't really recognize the strength in who you are as a person because it's not really valued, you know? So shout out to this part of the world for that. Like, you know, really in tune with yourself. No, because it's crazy. Yeah. You know, imagine if you were just growing up, you know, back home. Yeah. You never know. I feel like, in a way too. Like, I think before, like when I was young, like in my 20s and stuff, and probably like 18 or whatever, like I used to have like a lot of like resentment, like towards like my parents, to be honest. Really? Or, like, a lot of how I was brought up, and I feel like a lot of the things that like I went through, and even sometimes now, of course, you know how I was telling you, like, oh my gosh, man, these people like did a freaking like number. Yeah, because I'm like working on my stuff. Like in terms of like being like secure with myself, it's like something that now I'm like finally like leaning into, and I'm 28. Of like I'm really trying to like get comfortable with myself as like a being, and it's been difficult for me because literally like majority of my life, like I've been told like I'm actually like not good enough, how I've like just being me was just wrong. And I think when you grow up with like that narrative, like, and you've internalized it for so long, like it's like a belief system. Yeah, it becomes rooted within yourself. Like it's hard to like shake that, you know what I mean? So like, yes, I've had like, before I had like a lot of resentment, and I'm not going to say it's like completely gone away, but I think it's something that I'm like working through. But I think a way of how I'm kind of getting over it is like, okay, like now that I'm grown, I'm almost like 30, like my parents aren't like these, like these people are people as well. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't think they had bad intentions, to be honest. No, I like, you know, I think they did the best that they could, that they did with the information they had. Yeah. And they did have like my best interest in heart, and that's just how they showed it. And I think like, okay, if this is what they gave me and this was their best intention, what was given to them? I think especially like my mom, I think about it in that way. Yeah. Because you pass on what's happened to you. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You don't just like find it from anywhere. Mm-hmm. So it's made me have a lot more compassion, like in this situation, like, you know, at least like for my mom, for a lot of the things that she's put me through, made me realize, okay, well, someone has put you through
the exact
same thing.
And that's sad. So
I have like compassion, and it's like, since they didn't grow up here, they grew up there. Mm-hmm. We have to remember like that's so normalized for them. Yeah. Like, why would you question something where that's just how it's always been? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's normalized. Mm-hmm.
And that's how generational things get passed on. Yeah. And you don't know unless you're corrected. Because if that's all you're seeing, like what you just mentioned, it's hard for them to differentiate between like another life that this is what they've learned for 40 plus years. And I think also like lowering your expectations for your parents as well has definitely helped me. Like just obliterating expectations in a sense where you like based on what you see here, like you may compare your parents to other people's parents here where you see that they may be more present, or they may do X, Y, and Z, or they may speak life into themselves. If you keep on setting up those expectations for people in your head that they are not aware of, they're always going to fail.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So I just lowered them.
And I think you just have to accept them as they are. Like, for me, they'll change what they want. It's kind of too late for them.
I mean, no. It's not too
late. They are who they are.
Yeah.
And I just need to accept who they are and where they are. That means I'm not going to like engage in like certain things I know that are going to trigger me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not going to expect I'm not expecting like, you know, my mom to sit down and like apologize for because I just know she's never going to get there. She's not there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just need to accept her of where she is and just kind of accept like the past.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
And just really, I think what's made it easier for me to be able to get over it is like just really have empathy for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of like, okay, well, she's been through like this too.
And it sucks that, you know, they also had to go through that, but
so that's how I've been able to move on. But you know, like on hard days though, I'm just like, That's, I feel like, honestly, like on my hard days. Yeah, it does. Because I'm like, why do I even have to deal with this? If I would have just been given what I needed, or like, oh my gosh, I'd be so far if I didn't have to like overcome this obstacle. I'm like, I'm going through this obstacle because of X, Y, and Z. Is where sometimes, like, you know.
Yeah, and then that can teach you into and put you into like a really dark place, and then you just spiral.
Yeah. So I said, this life thing, I said, I don't know, man. If reincarnation exists, count me out as coming back as human. I can't do this experience.
Come back as a dog.
It's too complex.
Come back as a dog.
Too complex. And I'm just not, this internal, I'm not down.
Come back as a dog.
Of a rich owner.
Period on that. Very specific.
Well taken
like my dog's very taken care of. He eats food.
Well, I don't know, but he's on diapers. I don't know if I want to be like unhinged.
Well, he is unhinged. He's definitely a different person. Like, what prim and proper?
Yes. Well owned. A good owner, please. Coinsy. Give me a coinsy. I
mean, I would come back as an animal. I would come back as an elephant. Or a fish.
Just giving to survival of the fittest.
Oh my gosh, an elephant! You're so big.
No.
You're like, are you kidding? I like that. Or like something in the ocean. A what?
No, a beagle. It's a dog. A beagle.
Oh, okay.
It's like 14 years on this earth. Not too much.
14 years is like the
but it feels long as a dog.
Dog years.
Well taken care of. I'm talking about put up in a Louis V bag.
Well, I see some owners doing that. Even Hermes. What do you call
the collar? That's my friend.
I would do that.
Yeah. What is it? The leash. Like I'm not trying to be taken care of.
I would come back as a dog.
Care of.
Yeah, or like an ocean animal. Human life is hard.
No, that's why it's
hard.
You have to appreciate this one life. I'm down to do it for this one life.
Yeah, that's why every day you gotta
just don't know if I want to do it. It's too complex.
It is because the human mind is just so.
It's a lot. Okay, I feel like I want to touch on one more thing before we close. I feel like let's touch on like friendships before we close off.
I can talk about friends. I ain't got too many, so I don't know if that's me problem.
Yeah. Well, how is it like friendships and, you know, as an adult? Because I feel like that's a very big discussed like topic, navigating friendships as an adult, because it's like a lot harder to make friendships when you're older. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah.
Have you met like new set of friends like in your adult years? Have you kept the same friends from like when you were a kid? Like, what is that like now?
I don't really have that many friends.
Like, how do you feel about friendship?
I yearn for friendship for sure, but I don't like go out and hunt for it. I would say that I think the right people come into my life at the right time, and everyone serves a purpose. So I think when I don't look for certain people that I want to be around, they just come to me naturally.
Okay.
I mean, I did find, adult friendships. You were one, but I found you through Daniela as well, who I'm still friends with, right? And my circle's it's been pretty small ever since I met you and Daniela, realistically. Like, I've met a few friends, and I have my friend from high school, Shalise, but to be honest, the friend group is not that big. It's interesting. Friendship, I think I'm more cautious about who I choose to be around, and I'm very particular.
So has something happened? Because I hear that often with a lot of girls, I feel honestly always say that, they echo that. I feel Emeka would have the same viewpoint as you of being very cautious when it comes to friends and who you keep around you. So has that come from certain experiences of why you feel that way?
Yeah, I think it has. I've definitely had a few friends where I think obviously the way I was brought up by my mother, she definitely taught me to be very confident in myself as a being, and, how to hold myself accordingly in such a way. And then I've turned into, who I am today. And of course, pick and choose what I want to stay with me.
Yeah.
And I think when I see certain characteristics and behaviors that aren't really in alignment with where I'm either going or kind of who I am or the type of people I want to be around, that's when I get very selective. But I've definitely had friends who have just burned me. It's not every day. And I feel I'm the type of friend, I'm almost like a therapist. I'm trying to get out of that. I'm trying to get out of it. But realistically.
But is it because it's one way though?
Yeah. I always feel my friendships are one way. And I'll put so much work into a friendship with a specific person. And then it almost turns into hate. They all in turn just start hating you. You know what I mean?
They've turned out hating you?
Yeah, they just start not liking me.
How do you go from therapist to enemy?
That's what I'm saying. That's what's very scary.
What's the pipeline there?
Even, okay, I'll give you one.
I'm going to need a story of the worst friendship burn that you've ever experienced. But start with this story.
I'll start with this one. Yeah. I don't really, they're not burns, but it's just realizations. Yeah. I'll say that. But, this friend, very long time ago, university, really loved this guy. Simple things like this. And I would say, okay, as a lady, just hold yourself accordingly. Let them come to you. Don't be running and dashing after a grown man. Simple things like that, be very strategic. Hold yourself a certain way. Let them come to you. You're looking nice. You're a great person. And then, you're feeding this person advice, right? And you're trying to speak life into them. Someone who's not even as confident in themselves, right?
Yeah.
So I'm the type of person I want to speak life into everyone that's around me because I'm very positive in that regard. And then I guess they just turn it into oh, you think you're better than me? I'm so one day just randomly, you think you're better than me, Golda? I'm shocked because I'm baby, we're all different humans. We're all on different levels in life, okay?